Welcome everybody. In this video, we're going to be flying out the JA37C in War Thunder air realistic battles. Now this plane is battle rating 11.3, rank 7 fighter for the Swedish tech tree. How does this plane fly out in ARB? Is it any good? Well, my answer is it is actually pretty decent, and one of the main factors is because of one of its missiles, which you guys are seeing on screen right now, the RB71DF. Now the RB71DF is basically an AIM-7E2 in Swedish terms. It's a copy and paste missile basically. Now, why is this missile so strong? Because on paper, it's not the best range, pretty bad range actually. It doesn't pull the hardest, it's not a Fox 3, so why would it be super good? Well, one, you are at a low BR of 11.3. At 11.3, a lot of people are not expecting this missile at all, along with their post-operator radar, which makes it super easy to lock people at low altitudes. This missile gets a lot done. Most people, even if they do know how to deal with this missile, just are not expecting to get hit by it, making it very, very deadly. If you shoot this missile off properly every game, you can probably get a guaranteed 2 kills a game for your 2 missiles. Now, what about the AIM-9Js? The AIM-9Js aren't really the best, but definitely you can get a lot of work done. One more example is with the AIM-7E2 Tornado right here, shooting the missile at 2 kilometers. Nothing he's going to be doing to dodge this missile, he gets clapped out of the air. Next target, SU-39. He's going to be spamming missiles at us, but luckily for us, we're going to flare them off really easily. He doesn't even bother to maneuver, and he tries to flare the missile, but there's nothing he's going to be doing against an AIM-7E2. Now, we have another example on Afghanistan. We are going to be at around 8 kilometers up, well, 4 kilometers up, and the SU-22 is going to be preoccupied shooting the AI. We're going to wait a little bit, around 4.5 kilometers to shoot the missile. We do not have to wait that long, but we want to make sure it's going to hit him, and he does get clapped by the missile. This missile is very, very hard to defeat, along with the fact that it pulls 25 Gs, which is more than enough, and also pulls really, really fast off the rail in this example right here with the F4C. Shoot the missile at 1.7 kilometers, and he still gets hit by the missile. And I know he was carrying 3 compods, there was no way he was going to be dodging that, but still, this missile is very, very deadly because when you shoot from really close, there's nothing they're going to be doing because this missile pulls basically instantly off the rail. Now, we've got to talk about this plane's matchmaking a little bit because I had a very, very good experience at 11.3. This plane had around a 70% win rate. It was more exact 68%, however most of my games were basically full team sweeps. Now the thing is, when your team is that good, it does create a little bit of an issue where you can't really get those super high kill games, like anywhere above 6 kills is pretty difficult. I got quite a few aces. One of them will be in the timeline below. It is timestamped, but a lot of the times your teammates will just be killing everyone, and a lot of the times you won't be able to get those carry games. And don't get me wrong, the win rate makes this plane very consistent, but I had a little bit of trouble getting good footage for this plane. Anyways guys, in this game we're going to be basically shooting down a bunch of flares planes. There's nothing they can really do, guys. Most of your games will actually be down tiers like this one. 11.3 actually gets a lot of down tiers to 10.7. I think around 85% of my games were 10.7 to 11.7, while a lot of them were still full down tiers as well. I did get some full up tiers, but they literally did not happen. I got like around 10 of them out of like 50 games. It really was not that common. Now, this plane is very, very consistent in ARB because of your AIM-7E2s just being kind of overpowered at this battle rating. But once again, what is this plane's flight performance like? I went into an in-depth explanation of the flight performance in my previous video about the JA37. That is in the description below. However, just a quick summary, this plane, it is quite fast, relatively fast for 11.3. You have very, very good AOA. You don't really compress until you get over around 1200, but you do have very, very poor energy retention, and you lose your speed like crazy. Compared to the other Delta Wings, which already lose a lot of speed, like the MiG-21s and the Kafirs, you lose much more than them. There's no other plane that compares to this thing when it comes down to losing all your energy, which makes one thing very hard in this plane, going aggressive. Planes like Delta Wings are made to go aggressive because you turn very well. However, you just lose too much speed. This plane, when you go aggressive, really puts you in a situation where you're going too slow to the point where you want to stop going, turning and burning. You want to start like getting some speed back by flying straight. But by the time you fly straight, people will get you on your 6. When people get on your 6, you are in a little bit of a pickle because this plane, you can reverse people, but it is not a very good defensive flyer. When people get on your 6, you have one chance to reverse them. Once you reverse them, you cannot follow them if they go up, if they go to the side, if they do anything, you cannot follow them. Because this plane, after reversal, you'll be going around 400 kph or even lower, and it is just not a good situation to be in. One more thing about this plane is you have terrible low speed control. Once you get under around 400, I feel like this plane just feels like a flying sausage. You just cannot compare this to anything when it comes to low speed control. You just jiggle all over the place, kind of like gliding through the air. It makes it really hard to hit people. Now, this plane might not be the best at dogfights, but you can definitely kill people fast, which is something Delta Wings are good at. In this example, we have a MiG-21 on R6, and we're going to reverse him through the clouds. We don't mean to actually go into the clouds right here, but luckily for us, the MiG-21, he's going to try to push us, and he manages to lose us in the clouds. He's about to get reversed, and I think he lost me in the clouds right there, so he's going to fly in front of me. He's going to try to turn up, actually, which is a terrible idea because, one, he's going super slow, and two, I'm going relatively fast. Now, one more thing about this plane is, when it comes to reversing people, you basically have one shot to kill them after reversal, and that is a shot right after. You cannot follow people, once again, as I said. Now let's get into one more thing about this plane is the gun. The gun is pretty bipolar. My aim in this gun was pretty bad, as you guys can see. I'm sorry for the frame lag, guys. I'm trying to record on a MacBook Air, as you guys can see. Not going very well. But luckily for us, the S25K, he's about to die to my teammate right here. However, one thing is the gun is pretty bipolar. You have 150 rounds of the cannon, a relatively high fire rate, and this gun just does really hit or miss damage. A lot of times you'll be getting crits and hits that just do no damage whatsoever, and other times you'll be getting severe damage left and right. I think this gun is relatively good at killing people in head-ons, though. I did get quite a few head-on kills, which I will be featuring in a montage that will probably be uploaded in a few months from now. Now let's discuss how do you play this plane in your average ARB game. The average ARB game for 11.3 actually goes quite fast, and because your teammates are basically swarming the enemies everywhere, you do have a little bit of trouble getting kills. Well, one thing in this plane is you sometimes have to be aggressive. I know, being aggressive in this plane is hard because you just lose a lot of speed. A lot of times you want to break off because you're going way too slow, but really in planes like these where you have basically only 2 missiles where you can get kills consistently with, you really need to be a little bit aggressive. Sometimes if you take no risks, you get nothing done, and a lot of times in this plane, you will just be getting 2 kills a game on average, but not anymore. In my personal experience, I got quite a few aces in this plane, but only one of them was good enough to show off to you guys, which will be in the game after this. So essentially, a good playstyle for this plane would be a more passive-aggressive line of playstyle, because a lot of the times when you go super aggressive, you just find yourself getting stalled out by 5 guys at once. But when you do go passive-aggressive, you can definitely get a lot of stuff done. You want to make sure you're getting good position, like I am right here. Getting some altitude over your opponents is very crucial, especially if you're in down tiers, which you will get quite often. So one more thing about this plane is you do want to play this plane relatively passive-aggressively. You go too aggressive, you will get killed instantly, and if you go too passive, you're going to get nothing done. So anyways, guys, this plane, in my opinion, was actually pretty fun to fly. You just got to make sure that you play it correctly. Now in this game right here, we have quite a few people left, the JA37C and the MiG-21. Now the MiG-21 is my main issue here, and MiG-21s are really annoying to deal with in this plane. He's gonna go underneath us, and we missed a pretty easy shot. Once again, my aim with this gun sucks. So we're gonna actually break off from him. I played a little bit too passively here because I assumed the JA37C was going to go for me, but for some reason he's just gonna go back to his airfield. Anyways, the MiG-21 is going too slow. He gets clapped up in the air by my friendly A10. And we're gonna turn back for the F5C, but he's already in a little bit of a situation with 2 of my teammates, and he's gonna get gunned down really quick here. The rest of this game really isn't that interesting. The JA37C runs, I don't even get the kill on him, and the rest of the team basically just camps the airfield until the timer ends. Now we're gonna go into our next game here, which is on Rocky Pillars. This is our ace game, and we're gonna show you what happens when you actually take a more aggressive line. So I'm gonna go straight into the middle of the map where all the enemies are, and we're gonna try to pick up some kills here and there. Now we see a bunch of phantoms in the area, so we gotta be careful of those radar missiles. F4EJ in the head-on. I don't want to head on that. We're too close for a missile, so we're just going to dodge him, get out of the way of that missile. Now we're going to see who we should go for. A lot of people are going towards us, but we're not going to turn for them, because if we turn for them, we're going to give our 6 to a lot more people. We're going to keep flying straight until we see a target to go for, which is the F4E. He's going straight into us. He's absolutely cooked. He's not going to be dodging this missile for sure. He's going to get clapped out of the air. Now we look behind us. There's a Kafir on our 6, and we're going to try to get some separation and get better positioning on the pack of enemies. Luckily for us though, our teammates have our back, and they take out the Kafir with an R60. So we're going to turn back in here, look for a target to actually pick. I'm looking at the Kafir and the F4E, which one should we shoot down? They're both pretty annoying things to deal with, and the F4E is going to try to head on me, which is a terrible idea. We're going to dive back into the terrain so he cannot get a lock on me, because once again, F4E does not have post-doubler, and he gets clapped out of the air by my AIM-7E2. Kafir in the background also gets clapped, and we're going to go towards the center of the map. Now we're looking around for enemies to go for. I'm going to go for the SU-22 because he's preoccupied with my teammates and he is going relatively slow. The dead FREJ is still trying to kill someone, and we're going to try to get a shot off on the SU-22. And once again, we miss a very easy shot. If I had to go for that shot, I probably would have crashed to the ground, but I feel like it is definitely hittable. Now we're going to turn back into this pack right here. We see a MiG-21 and an F-104 going around. F-104 seems to be going towards us, so we're going to face him in head-on. We're going to shoot a little bit of a burst, but we miss it. Now, this plane in head-ons with a gun is actually not too bad. I did get quite a few head-on kills, but really don't expect to get too many of them. MiG-21 in front of us, we're going to shoot a missile at him. Make sure to keep our situational awareness up, because my teammate has basically cleaned the entire game. Now, the MiG-21 biz gets killed before my missile gets there, which is your average experience in this plane. Now, I'm not complaining or anything, but the teams sometimes are just a little bit too good. Now, we're turning back into the pack right here. SU-22 is still alive somehow after he went super slow in the middle of the map. But, you know, it is what it is. We're going to try to take him out. My teammate is about to get clapped out of the air, so we're going to try to go for the SU-22. Shooting a missile at 3.3 kilometers. It should hit him as long as he doesn't flare, but he does flare the missile, and he is still alive. So we're going to have to go with guns. I'm getting a little bit nervous right here, thinking I'm going to miss. We're going to line up the shot. This should be a really, really easy shot. If I miss this, I'm actually bad at the game. We get a hit, and he looks pretty damaged. He looks like he's going to die, and he's going to J out in a second here. There he goes. We see an A-10 below us. We're actually going to go for this A-10, not the other one, because I want to go for the guy in the back, and also the other A-10 is really, really preoccupied right now. We're going to hit a dive shot on him. Severe damage. He's going right back to the hangar. I'm going to turn back towards the last two enemies in the game. F5C and an A-10. Now, I don't want to head on the A-10 because I'm afraid he's going to gun me down. It's really important that you head on A-10s properly. He's going to shoot a 9L at me, but this is a pretty easy flare, and there goes the missile. I'm thinking about turning back right now, but I genuinely feel like my teammates got that. It's 3 teammates on 1 A-10. There's no way he's going to survive that. So we're just going to, like right there, he dies right there, and we're just going to keep on going for the F5C. Now, as I close the distance on this F5, I just want to talk about my channel as a whole. I intentionally wanted to start this channel to make review content like YouTubers like Defin, where I talk about planes and as I play them. However, it's been really difficult for me to get footage because I'm playing on a MacBook Air that's 4 years old, and a lot of times my gameplay is just way too laggy. As you guys see, some of the clips in this video are extremely laggy. I'm terribly sorry for that. There's not much I can do about it, but you know, as you guys know, it's really hard for me to get gameplay, which is why I'm going towards more of the ranking, the tier list guides, where I've made a lot of videos ranking planes, ranking missiles, you know, ranking nations and things to fly in this game. So hopefully I will continue to make more content, maybe get a better PC so I can actually record commentary gameplay, because that is what I really want to make on this channel. Anyways guys, thank you all so much for watching the video. If you made it to the end, thank you all, and please subscribe, like, leave a comment below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.